Welcome to today's explainer. You know, if you or a loved one are navigating diabetes, the sheer volume of nutrition advice out there can feel, well, completely overwhelming. It often feels like you're just being handed a giant list of the word no. But today, we're going to completely demystify diabetes nutrition. We're shifting the focus away from pure restriction and moving toward actionable, practical strategies regarding the exact foods to avoid and intake. We're here to give you your power back. So, let me ask you this. If you have diabetes, do you have to just give up carbs forever? It's literally the #1 fear people have after a diagnosis. Well, I am thrilled to tell you that the answer is a resounding no. We're going to bust this myth right now and replace all that food anxiety with real empowerment, using science to show you exactly how your body processes what you eat. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, debunking diabetes diet myths. Second, high glycemic foods to avoid. Third, the power of food swaps. Fourth, foods that lower blood sugar. And fifth, meal timing and frequency. Let's dive right in.
Starting off with Section 1, Debunking Diabetes Diet Myths. We're looking at the real truth about carbs and skipping meals.
You know, you might be thinking, hey, if I just skip meals entirely, my blood sugar won't rise, right? Well, actually, scratch that. If you starve yourself, your liver just steps in and releases its own stored glucose to keep you running, which causes unexpected spikes anyway. The trick isn't starvation at all. It's eating balanced meals consistently throughout the day to keep those levels perfectly regulated.
Moving to Section 2, High Glycemic Foods to Avoid. Let's talk about spotting those sneaky, hidden sugars.
Okay, so the absolutely crucial concept to understand here is the glycemic index, or GI. This is a scale that measures how fast a food causes your blood sugar to shoot up. Anything with a score of 70 or above is considered high GI. When you eat these foods on their own, they cause rapid, significant spikes in both your blood sugar and your insulin. They're essentially fast-acting fuel that burns a little too bright and a little too quickly.
Now, here are the top 10 major offenders you're going to want to avoid. We've got processed meats and foods with trans fats that offer zero nutritional benefit. But you really have to look closer at the hidden sugars. Take dried fruits, for example. The drying process shrinks the fruit and condenses the sugar, meaning a tiny 43-gram box of raisins packs a massive 25 grams of sugar. No way, right? And those flavored coffee drinks? Absolute sugar bombs. Then we have naked white carbohydrates like white bread, white rice, and instant potatoes. These are totally stripped of their fiber and will spike your glucose almost instantly.
All right, Section 3, the power of food swaps. Simple changes for some really big results.
Here's the really good news. You absolutely don't have to give up your favorite categories of food. You just have to make slightly smarter choices. Love rice? You don't have to quit it for sure. Just swap jasmine rice, which has a massive GI of 89, for basmati rice, which sits at a much safer 58. Or look at breakfast. Trading your standard cornflakes at 81 for steel-cut oats at 42 practically cuts your glycemic impact in half. And trading plain white bread for hearty pumpernickel does the exact same thing. It's not about restriction, it's just about strategy.
But what if you literally have to have a higher GI food? Well, you use the pairing rule. Number 1, choose your carbohydrate. Number 2, add a protein. And number 3, add a fiber. A perfect everyday example is taking a simple apple and pairing it with peanut butter. The fats and protein in the peanut butter actually slow down your stomach's emptying process. This brilliant little biological hack can reduce your glucose spike by 20 to 40%.
That brings us to Section 4, Foods that Lower Blood Sugar. We've got 17 delicious additions for your daily intake. First up on our intake list are the fiber powerhouses. Fiber is absolutely your best friend when it comes to blood sugar because it slows digestion right down. We're talking about broccoli, which is amazing because when you chew it, it produces a specific compound called sulforaphane that actively helps reduce blood sugar. Then you have pumpkin, okra, apples, beans, and lentils. These are packed with resistant starch, which is a type of carb that resists digestion and keeps you steady all day long. Next up in our intake breakdown, we've got healthy fats and proteins. These aren't just delicious, they're completely essential for your overall management strategy. Seafood, vibrant avocados, and eggs are fantastic whole food sources that provide long-lasting energy without the spike. And whatever you do, don't forget the seeds. Chia seeds and flaxseed are incredibly nutrient-dense, and adding them to a meal or a smoothie is a scientifically proven way to improve insulin sensitivity and keep your blood sugar beautifully balanced.
And rounding out our 17 superfoods for your daily intake, we have the antioxidant and probiotic sources. We're talking about colorful, dynamic foods like kale, berries, and citrus fruits. But what's really fascinating here is the inclusion of fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, and yogurt. Studies are increasingly linking the good bacteria in these fermented foods directly to improved blood sugar regulation and way better insulin sensitivity.
Finally, Section 5, meal timing and frequency. Because when you eat really does matter. For years, we've all been told to just graze, right? To eat 6 small meals a day to keep your blood sugar level. Well, prepare to have your mind blown. A recent systematic review published in the journal PLOS found that for patients with type 2 diabetes, eating just 2 larger meals a day, specifically breakfast and lunch, was actually more effective at managing glucose than eating 6 smaller meals. It turns traditional advice completely on its head and proves that giving your digestive system a solid break between meals can be a highly effective strategy.
I absolutely love this quote from the CDC because it hits the nail on the head regarding why this whole topic matters. If some of your favorite foods contain added sugars, it doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your diet completely. You can enjoy these foods in moderation. This entire explainer is fundamentally about giving you the knowledge and the strategy, like those pairing rules and the smart swaps we covered, so you can enjoy your life and your food without the constant stress. So I want to leave you with one final, really empowering question to kickstart your journey. What is one high GI food you plan to swap out today? You don't have to change the whole shebang all at once. Pick just one single swap. Maybe trade that white bread for sourdough, or those cornflakes for steel-cut oats, and watch the incredible impact it has on your energy and your health. Take that action today, and I'll catch you in our next explainer.